You're right, I am. I am muted. Thank you for noticing. And that is annoying. Because I can't go back to the beginning of this cutscene now. Oh well. Guess I have to do my intro part again. So, hi everyone, it's Sparks. I'm back for more Final Fantasy, but I would like to start off by apologizing to everyone who was watching this earlier today, as the my internet cut out on my end. There's an issue with my router. So until that issue is resolved, I'm having to resort to my mobile hotspot to stream. The speeds are significantly slower than that of my broadband. So, unfortunately, um, everything may be. My responses to any messages you sent may be a bit delayed. As in, I will see them and respond to them as I see them. But you might not see those responses for a few seconds or minutes, depending on how bad the lag is. The mobile hotspot is not as reliable. But yeah, I have no idea when it actually cut out realistically. I didn't notice until later, until the game cut out. So it may have cut out sooner than I thought. Hopefully not too soon, but we'll resume this cutscene anyways. You are right. That said, I see no reason I cannot join in planning our next step. As I said before, conversation is quite unlike gallivanting about on a hunt. Our encounter with Gleipnir has made it plain that we cannot hope to triumph over it as we are. Only with the Great One's power can we achieve victory. When the seventh Umbral Calamity was nigh, the Great One committed a portion of its boundless strength to extend a barrier over heaven and earth, the Ermine Hedge. Thus was the Twelves Woods spared the worst. If we could convince it to again lend us even a small measure of that power, we would not need fear the poison. Therefore, I believe we should pour our efforts into placating the elementals. They might earn their favor. We must show that we are not the enemy. Indeed, we must find a way to assure the Great One of our good intentions, to remind it that we labor not for its destruction, but its salvation. I think, too, that we must gain a greater understanding of what drives Gleipnir. It seems to bear resentment towards the elementals, the Great One in particular. Why? I have pondered this question myself. Lingering memories of the person Gleipnir once was may be responsible. Reports from Razadhan suggest this is likely the case, in fact. If we could but ascertain the original identity of the blasphemy, where are we even to begin our investigation? You were granted a vision of Gleipnir's past, and I was there? Then I may know who he is, or was. As do I, the boy who trained alongside Connie in her youth. Isora Supin, after all these years, is this what became of him? Ah, you mentioned him briefly before. Were you close? Isora was Pajali like me, but he had never known his parents and devoted himself wholly to his studies. He embraced the role the Force had bestowed upon him, and truth be told, was a much better student than I ever was. A fair assessment. Despite your esteemed heritage, you never took to your lessons as well as he, ever dreaming of the outside world, stealing off into the woods more times than I can count. I cannot keep watch over you at all hours, not even if I tried. The Elder Seedseer? A rebellious spirit? I can scarce imagine it. I resented being a Padshaw. It was inconceivable to me that I could not live among the others. I did not scruple to express my misgivings to Isumiyan at every opportunity. Isora was a pillar of constant support. It was thanks to his encouragement that I at last embraced my destiny and resolved to use my gifts for the greater good. We would become seed seers together, I believed, till one fateful day we're gathering herbs in the forest at Isumiyan's behest. We met a wanderer, hailing from a distant land, who told us his beloved was with child, They had traveled to Gridania to beseech the Great One for a painless birth. He asked us to guide him to the guardian tree. However, entry into such a sacred place was not ours to permit, and there was something odd about his demeanor besides. With regret I refused him, but Yusor was loath to turn away a goodly stranger in need. He agreed to guide the man despite my protestations. I ran to Yusumiyan as fast as I could. Together we made haste to the guardian tree. We found the man motionless on the ground, having succumbed to the Great One's rage. Next to him was Iasura, alive but unconscious. In time he recovered and related the whole story. In truth, the man had been an adventurer, a seeker of wealth and glory, and as he had knelt to make false supplications, he lunged forward to tear a branch from the guardian tree. He was yet a child, and Iasura had no inkling of the darkness that could dwell within men's hearts. He learned the lesson that day, but the price he paid for it was great indeed. The Great One stripped Iasura of his horns, and with them the right to call himself Padjo. I was forced to expel him from the fane. I never saw him again, nor heard a word of what had become of him, though not for lack of trying. Despite his hardships, did he remain in the Twelves Wood all this time? I wonder. He dreamed of naught else but becoming seed seer, of a life in service to the people in the forest. He knew the weight of the responsibility and was eager to bear it, but he was deprived of that purpose by the very elementals he beloved. And yet he did not lose that will to serve, I suspect, and instead resolved to watch over the Twelves Wood in his own way. I shudder to think what could have hastened his transformation into Glepnir, as if his life was not harsh enough. In our final conversation, Iasura confided in me that he would search for a means to calm the Great One's rage and earn absolution. To that end, he said that he would seek the counsel of the Mughals. They have called the Twelves Wood home for far longer than we have, and so none are more like to have knowledge of its most hidden workings. That comes as no surprise. He would not give up so easily on his dream. Even if the Mughals know naught of Iasura, they may be able to help us in other ways. Will you travel to the bramble patch in my stead, Sparks? I have faith they will accept you with their characteristic aplomb. Yeah, they will. I'm friend with Mughals. Off we go to meet with them. Meh. Alright, Mount Roulette. Flying horse away! Yum. Oh look, Boogles. Boogle! Hi. Quite a peculiar face you have, Kupo. Familiar, too. You wouldn't be the self-same hero who gave the legendary Muggle's Guard what for, would you? Sparks, was it? It's an honor to meet you. Allow me to thank you personally for bringing that silliness to an end. Pukwa Pika is the name. What brings you to our neck of the Twelves Wood? Why, what a pleasant coincidence. We were just discussing how we ought to go about calming the elementals, Kupo. That blast with the dreadful horns has got them on edge, and for good reason. I've had to ask my personal guard here to sleep with one eye open. In case you haven't noticed, the beast's corruption has been spreading all throughout the woods. Needless to say, we've all got to stand up and put the Twelves Woods to rights. Rayo suggested that the Boogles contribute by scouring the forest for even the smallest signs of taint. Got to cleanse it before it gets out of hand, you know. Difficult and time-consuming work, but if it's in service to the forest, then we'll do it gladly, Kupo. I know you. You're the adventurer who gave me some of my finest scars. Coop-de-coop. of the Mughals Guard. No hard feelings about the whole Hail to the King, Kupo. Bit, I hope. Not gonna call for a rematch either, in case you're worried about that. We and the others cured us of our tempering, and afterwards sat us down with a stern lecture. No more calling upon good King Mogglebog 12 for us. May he ever remain unsummoned in his royal grace and splendor. Indeed, what better way to make up for past indiscretions than serve the realm? Even now our kin scare every elm of the 12's wood, and we'd be remiss not to do our part. We would be overjoyed to have a hero such as you helping us as well, if you're willing. Something tells you have a sharp eye for the taint we seek to cleanse. Can we count on you, Kupo? Your reputation for magnanimity is well deserved. Let's begin by moving to higher ground, that we may survey the area and locate any particular nasty spots of blight. Yep, let's do that. Oh, we actually do need to fly for this bit. Oh, you were able to make your way up here after all. I was worried you'd be stuck. I was leaving you behind, but it's so easy to forget that your kind lack wings, Kupo. How would we get up here normally without? Oh, right. This came out after a point in which flight was available to everyone. Now then, where is it? For areas in Realm Reborn, anyways. There, to the south. There's called the Fistering Taint at once. Wah. Come on. That was some fine work. I dare say it's in even better shape than it was before. The others are doubtless flittering about, stamping out corruption wheresoever it rears its hideous head. If I were the Great One, I would be applauding our efforts. Well, insofar as such a being without hands can clap, I suppose. How goes the tank cleansing, Coop-de-Coop? I did what I could, but I swear, as soon as I finish with one area, two more start manifesting a fresh taint. The forest's ability to heal itself is waning, and this sickness is spreading too fast for even a legion of Mughals to manage. If we don't come up with a better solution soon, the situation is more grave than we imagined, Kupo. Oh, what do we do? We should maintain our efforts to purify the forest regardless. But since there are only so many of us, we must also help the forest remember how to help itself. Good idea, I think. How do we go about doing that? Well, I was just getting to that part, Kupo. Got it. We perform the friending. The friending? What in the name of good King Mogglebog 12, may he shower us love and compassion and Kupo nuts, is that? Truth be told, I couldn't remember the ancient rite's name, so I just made something up on the spot, Kupo. But let's forget about that for now and move on to the stuff I do remember. It's an old ceremony, first performed when the nations of Gridania was but a spark of an idea of a random thought in its founder's head. They knew that if they were to establish a home within Twelvewood, they would first have to entreat the elementals for permission. So a mage in their company found and cleansed a few sources of foul ether, planting saplings in their place, and consecrated the soil with a prayer to show the forest the purity of their intentions. The elementals were so taken with this display that not only did they permit his people to settle within the forest, they also bestowed on him their blessing as proof of their new covenant, Kupo. I remember now, the Gridanians still honor the agreement to this day. For every tree that is cut down, a sapling is planted. So if we follow history's example, we can soothe this forest's pain and also nourish it with new life. That's right, Kupo. Oh, but I wasn't finished with the story. Remember the mage who planted those sacred saplings? He was none other than Joran, sire of Iohokpota, the very first Pachdal. From that day forward, the elementals would bless a select few Huras with horns, favoring them with their fellowship. The Pachdal were exalted, but all the peoples of the Twelves would. Even we Muggles look upon them with awe. And that's how it all began. Something wrong, Kupo? You have a strange look on your face. Glepnir may be a Pachdal, a former Pachdal at least. How dreadful, Kupo. What exactly are you saying? So the man you think may have become Glepnir was a Pachdal stripped of his blessing, and the blasphemy kills with a poison that manifests symptoms that resemble those of the creeping death. I feel sorry for this Iasora. To love the elementals, only be shunned by them? To be surrounded by the beauty of the Twelves Woods and know that he was forever an outsider. All for a child's mistake. That despair could easily have caused him to turn, and this poison that preys upon those who bear the Twelves Wood blessing. The Hjors, just like the creeping death ones did, might be another manifestation of that despair. That would explain the elemental's unease, Kupo. We must redouble our efforts to plant saplings, or they might never speak to us again. Indeed. Well, first things first. We must gather as many saplings as we can. Sparks, wait for us at the Adder's Nest and make ready for a long and back-breaking day. God damn it. Ba 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 ba. Welcome back, Sparks. Did the Muggles have any insight into our problem? Yep, they did. Our reenactment of the ceremony laid the foundation of Gridania, a fitting plan given the gravity of the threat our nation now faces. As ever, there is much work to be done before we can even begin. While the Muggles gather saplings, we shall continue to scout the Twelves Wood for new beasts that must be purged. Let us pray that the Elder Seeds here regains their strength quickly as well. For now, take a rest, my friend. 'Tis a rare indulgence these days, and one you've earned 1,000 times over. This class is now maxed out. Okay, that should do. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Glepnir has not been seen since our last encounter. This brief respite may be our best chance to quell the Great One's terror. Make way for the saplings, Kupo. We've had plenty of practice cultivating our gardens. Selecting the most robust ones was a simple matter. That was the hardest work, so you can help us with the easy part. If you see a spot of corruption, cleanse the taint and plant the sapling in its place. Kupo. If you have ties, the Great One is sure to understand that we're doing all we can to heal the forest, which ought to brighten its mood. We'll see to the East Shroud. You should have no trouble taking care of the rest. Kupo. Your efforts are much appreciated. We will begin without further delay. I trust you will not object to my company. I dare say healing the forest is one task for which I am more qualified than most. Connie? Elder Seeds here. Are you well enough to leave the city? I should like to think I have been for some time. In any event, Izumi has grown tired of my objections and ceased his attempts to detain me further. Allow me to be the one to consecrate these saplings. It will be an honor to offer words of thanks to the forest for its bounty. Please do, Kopo. A prayer from the Elder Seesayer herself will surely hasten their growth from tiny saplings to towering trees. Such is my hope. As Joran did before me, I shall approach the Great One in friendship that might see through the veil of fear that blinds it and remember our covenant. Let us begin by cleansing all traces of corruption in the central shroud. To Green Tier, I sense that the flow of ether has become warped there. Impressive, Koopa. Now even my keen eyes could spot corruption from such a distance. It is but one of many talents I owe to the elementals. Well then, shall we be on our way? Yep, we shall. Again, do tell me if there's any sort of significant lag. On my end right now, it is 1916. Or about 16 minutes past 7. I just want to know whether or not when I say that, if there's like a minute or two of lag before people hear me, or if you guys are hearing me within a few seconds still. I have much better speeds with my broadband, and it being down is just a pain in the ass more than anything else. There's no logical reason for it either. Weh. We triggered smaller enemies. Alright. Time to plant a little sapling. In gratitude for your boundless blessing do I offer this gift. May it nourish you as you nourish us. At last, the earth is cleansed. There is a salmon not far from here. We should tell them of his sapling, bid them watch over and keep it safe from harm. Of course, Elder Seesayer, I shall relay your words forthwith. It will give the people hope to know that they can aid in the restoration of the Twelve's Wood. Thank you. Now we must go. She's sensing for the next one. You can barely even see the sapling with all the plants around it. To silent ardor, there's something foul in peace of flow of ether. Quarry Mill is the nearest spot, so we fast travel there. Ba ba da ba da ba da ba da. Just take these hits. At least we know we have a class we can get to the end of the story with. Don't know if this is a good spot for a sapling, though. You'll be surrounded by other trees. The injury has begun to heal. Our next destination lies to the north. Near a rice mill, I believe. 'Tis faint, for we are far from the source. Nevertheless, I am certain it is there. Come. Okay. Ball gird float. And then we fly. What is unfortunate is the fact that this class is now max level, which means it can't gain any more XP. I don't know how that'll translate with regards to well, I'll be honest in saying that I really do wish that classes got like a experience stockpile. Like they continued to gain experience. So that then when the next expansion comes out and they put in actual thresholds, all your classes just automatically reach a new level. It is fortunate that the corruption here is faint. A simple prayer should suffice to cleanse the soil, after which we may plant a sapling. I sense no other disruptions of the etheric flow, which leads me to believe that the Mughals have already seen to the remainder. Indeed, the Twelves would sighs with a contentment I have not felt in a long while. Will it start to placate the Great One? I cannot say. Not until we visit the Guardian Tree. People! Excuse me, but you're the Elder Seeds here, aren't you? What brings you all the way to our village? Corruption that had upset the balance of ether, but that we have since cleansed with prayers and saplings. Thus, as the Twelves would reclaim a measure of peace. You've been planting trees. We have. The elementals have suffered much of late. And with these offerings we endeavor to raise their spirits. Elder Seeds here, I've got to protest. What of your people's spirits? We who dread every step we must take out of our doors. That terrible monster is still out there, preying upon innocent folk without rhyme or reason. If it doesn't strike us dead where we stand, its poison will finish the job. I know that you are afraid, that you and yours suffer still. However, just the auspices of the elementals that we may call the Twelves home, and they too cry out for deliverance. Even the Great One quakes with fear for the blasphemy's continued existence. Nor their plight is to invite greater tragedy for us all. Rest assured, however, that I have not forgotten the needs of the people. Bring comfort to the elementals and renew our sacred ties, that we might enlist the aid of the Great One, and combat Glepnir and the suffocating despair it spreads. So I pray you continue to put your faith in our guardians, and in me. Would that we could, Elder Seedsir. We've been dealing with death and sickness since before Glepnir's coming. They say the creeping death is nothing to fear these days. We know better. One of ours caught it not long ago. We gave her the cure, had plenty on hand. For a while we thought it would be alright, but by the time we realized it hadn't done the damn thing, it was too late to call for a conjurer. It was a sad day for all of us when she passed, but for none more so than her dear husband Supin. He was beside himself with grief. You could blame him, and then came Glepnir to compound our woes. Supin. Kambi, do you speak of Isura, Supin? Isura? No, Supin was an odd one. But no one would mistake him for a Pajdal. Supin was even his real name. That'd be Elenya. but his wife was fond of calling him Supin for some reason. He caught on with the rest of us. I see. And what did Ellinger look like? Well, I'd say he'd been no more than 30 summers. Kept himself, came and went with nary a word at times. After he met his beloved, he became more of a fixture, friendly even. His wife was a sickly lass, but she had spirit. Spirit's not enough to beat the creeping death. Pity we couldn't do anything for her. He had finally made a new life for himself here. Thank you for recounting Elenia's story. Sad though it was, it's helped me better understand how much you all have suffered. I promise that you will have cause to celebrate soon. Until then, I implore you again to place your faith in the elementals and in me. Together we shall overcome this crisis. So, that's why the blasphemy amidst the creeping death. Despite what he said, I am certain this Elenia was Isura Supin. To think that he was living so close by for all those years, searching for new purpose, finding true love, only to be robbed of that fulfillment too. Were he still a Pagil, empowered by the elementals, could he have saved her? He would have dwelt on the question, night after sleepless night. I know I would have. In the end, he came to blame the elementals for his helplessness, for her death, and in despair was consumed. Aye, the animosity would linger, endure, and in vengeance would Gleipnir find its final purpose. We have done all we can to show the Great One the purity of our intent. Let us hope that we will be accepted as friends. Yep. We can only hope. And that definitely solves the problem of why. All questions about who he was and why he became a blasphemy have been answered, I think. This area isn't even really here. And yet, they bothered with collision detection. Oh, gotta love that. They probably didn't originally, but they had to add it. Our supplications cannot have escaped the Great One's notice. May it be enough to receive an audience. O Great One, I abide ever beneath your boughs, embraced by your compassion, grace, and wisdom. Be still the fear within your heart, and know that I am your faithful servant. Yep, she's been empowered. Wait, is the Great One... Oh god, are we encountering possession? Yep, she is possessed by the tree. Great. All feeling. Passing corruption, refreshed. Renewed green, flesh restored. Child of child, covenant honored. Friend, friendship, peace. It worked. The Great One speaks through the Elder Seed Seer. We were right to follow Joran's example. We beseech your help to slay Gleipnir. Profanity's spawn, despair's orphan, sadness and anger, sadness, death's prayer, one and all. Poison potent, wounds unmending. Withering bark, no strength to share. After all we have done, you deny us? After all the Elder Seer has adored? She has pledged herself to you, devoted her life to the 12's wood. People cry out for salvation, and she answered. The elementals cried out for deliverance, and she answered. Only you can help us now. If you do not, then we are lost. She is lost. Please, I beg you. We beg you. Oh, wow. The people of the 12s would have come in numbers. What are you doing here? We've been depending on the seeds here all our lives, blaming them whenever something goes wrong, without ever considering what we might do ourselves. Aye, but no longer. The old Seer has gone to incredible lengths for her people, so our people have come to return the favor. If our appeal alone is not convincing enough, then we will raise our voices in support. We couldn't let them make the journey without protection. That, and we couldn't let them put us to shame. We too have come to stand in the with the Elder Seer and beseech the Great One for aid. We all want the same thing, don't we? Peace restored to the forest. So please, share what you can, however little. Do not forsake us. Do not forsake her. Aww. This is actually beautiful, seeing the people of the Twelveswood all band together to protect their home. Connie, Covenant's child, walks with man, with elemental, keeper of ancient faith unbroken. Cannot, will not, break faith. To man, render up flesh. Then you agreed to help us? Flesh branches take and join. To oldest elders renew bond as one stir. Raise up to heaven's covenant symbol, our staff. All join, all bloom, all peace. Oh. My duty weighed heavy on my heart, so heavy that at times I scarce remember to breathe. For days and nights I worried that I would be found wanting. But by your faith and trust has the path forward been revealed to us. You came hither, united in purpose, and bared your hearts before the Great One. Nay, Gridania is forever in your debt. Ooh, something's happening. Sparkles. Huh. We're getting given a branch. Okay. A bunch of people are being given branches. Magic branches. May I rely on you all once more. I bid you take these branches to every corner of the Twelveswood and join them to the eldest trees, that we might finally win free of this despair. It shall be done, Elder Seer. We swear it. Once the trees have been bound together in spirit, I shall carry out the Great One's final instruction and cast his cleansing power all across the Twelveswood. Yet I must remind you, my friends, that Glepnir still stalks the forest. It will not remain idle. It will attempt to stop us. Go with hope in your hearts, but not lose sight of the danger. Yeah. Oh, and the next mission we'll actually have to fight Glepnir. Oh, that's gonna be a fun fight. I admit for a moment I thought it wouldn't work. But the Elder Seed Seer moved not only the hearts of the people, but that of the forest itself. Her final task appears to be a bit more complicated than the Great One made it sound, and so she must scour the ancient texts before the time comes and consult with the Seed Seer Council to make sure all goes according to plan. It's just as well. We still need to wait until the others have joined the Great One's branches to the many ancient trees scattered throughout the Twelves Wood. Then, of course, there's the matter of Glepnir. We will not go peacefully as we work to hasten his demise. When he comes, we must be ready. Oh, this is it. The last of these missions. Impeccable timing is always Sparks. But moments ago, the Elder Seed Seer sent word to go and fetch you. She's already on her way and will explain everything herself when she arrives. The children of the Twelves Wood, both Moogle and man alike, have sallied forth, branches in hand, to the far reaches of the forest. Soon their task shall be complete. Though the shadow of death yet looms large, they do not allow despair into their hearts. They hold fast to their faith in a brighter future. We shall see their hopes rewarded. By the grace of the elementals, consign these grim days to memory. We need to only succeed in summoning the Ermine Hedge. You may recall that the Great One's words were muddled and esoteric. I believe it was an instruction to carry out this esoteric ceremony in order to expunge the corruption befouling the forest. The once tainted earth may begin to mend. For you see, when the Ermine Hedge last was formed, it was to protect the Twelves Wood from threats without. The Great One acted as a guardian, bracing the woods to shield them as a father would his child. On this occasion, however, we will call upon it to nourish and revitalize, as a mother nurses her child to make them strong against sickness. Channeling the power of the elementals in this way, we can stem the spread of Glepnir's poison. The scars of his passing will finally heal. At least, that was what the Great One intended to say, I believe. The Seed Council agrees with my interpretation and has permitted me to perform the ceremony. I have my possession a single branch. The final one to be attached to the eldest tree of the Twelves Wood. For all that you have done to aid us thus far, I ask you to accept this honor. We bear to set the final stone in this new foundation for everlasting peace. You have sacrificed so much for the sake of others. If we had even a sliver of your courage, we could move mountains. Yeah, I can do this. Thank you, my friend. We will find the tree of which I spoke in front of the Leatherworkers Guild. Let us depart. So close? Really? I mean, I won't complain that it's so close. Building your entire city around the eldest tree certainly makes sense. So that's it. That's the eldest tree in all of Gridania. Look to the boughs above and you will see a spot where the bark has been discolored by age and the elements. There you must affix the branch. You ascend the ancient trunk and fix the branch of the guardian tree to the weathered bark as directed by the Elder Seed Seer. You're quite the climber, and with that, all preparations are now complete. Let us return to the guardian tree, and with the aid of the Great One, deliver salvation to the whole of the Twelves Wood. We're gonna end up in a fight, though. I mean, at least this time, I'll have a healer. Or at least I should. Just gonna make sure we have Royal Guard on before we start. I'm excited for this. It'll be the first of these quests that we finish. We've only got technically 3 more classes to level up to finish things. This is it. If it is truly Asura's lingering resentment for the elementals that drives the blasphemy, then will surely come. For the sake of the man he was, I must try to appeal to his reason. But should I fail, then we will have no recourse but to fight. Regardless, this day we shall bid farewell to Gleipnir. 1 moment, please. No. Nope. Nope. That has an item level direction of 550. I am not even going to try the mission when our item level is only 534. We will die horribly. So with that in mind, I think the best course of action for us is to continue with the main story for now. So I will switch classes, of course. But, yeah, Garlemald. Yep, its sky is on fire, and I've returned this outfit back to the way it was. Hi! Sparks, and not a moment too soon. The skies over Garlemald are ablaze, and it's events on the ground that concern me. As you will have heard, your fellow Scions arrived ahead of you. We cut the customary greeting short after we received word from our troops on the Magna Glacies that the Forum's airship had landed. It was then that the heavens began to burn. I dispatched your friends at once to ensure the refugees come to no harm. I'd have you join them immediately. Additional support is en route. We'll discuss them later. I trust you are ready to depart. Several customers will play in high. I recommend you set aside sufficient time required to participate in battle. Your progress will be saved at certain points. In the event that you are defeated, you will be to try again for the most recent of these. Okay, before we start that, I'm going to grab myself a drink. Because, quite frankly, I do not fancy starting this when I am thirsty. I'm also going to grab myself a snack. I'm feeling a little bit peckish. So we have our packet of crisps and a can of pop. Okay, let us begin. Enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game. This progress will be lost. Yep, that's fair. Earlier on the Magna Glacies. Wow.
No. No. We were promised an escape. Not to say
I shall not meet my final days here in this blasted waste. Calm yourselves. Your panic is our greatest enemy.
Ooh.
Come, we must build a line of defense.
He actually has a nice outfit here. He's still a dick, but... Oh, that poor child.
How?
Leave the fighting to us, Father. You must lead the people to safety.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I can handle this pair.
You shall tend to the refugees. Let us be about it.
Hmm.
As you wish, my little lord.
Shall we be playing as a Stini in a moment? Or Alphino? It does appear as if we're going to be playing as somebody else for a little bit here. Alphino.
I'll command the beast's attention. See to the wounded.
Help is at hand.
Okay.
Leave it to me.
What is this offensive spell? Okay. Okay, they're about to change. Yep.
Those who can stand, come with me.
Yep. He may be a dick, but do actually follow him.
You're safe now. Easy now. Deep breaths.
I owe you my life. See you to safety.
Worry not for the refugees, but for yourself.
Yep. Alright, what's gonna attack us now? Oh, hello. Come on. Ooh. Come on. Damn it. Come on, we can do this. You nearly beat it. Woo, we did it. It's a fun way of showcasing the Sage class.
Help! Someone, please!
What?
Oh my. It is interesting how many of the creatures look like void scent.
No. Don't. I don't want to die.
That's a child. Woo!
Forward! Let not a single fiend escape!
Imperials coming to their people's aid, as they should be.
Wait, that's... Euless and the army. So, you've recovered then?
Yep, looks like he has.
In time enough to be of aid. For once.
Aw, poor guy.
We can speak of it more later. For now, we must fight! To repay your salvation in kind, or with better! For Garlemald has her pride!
Yeah.
Of that I've no doubt.
Onwards.
The gods. Of all possible saviors, the Imperial Army.
Yeah, I know, right? It's hilarious.
Oh,
Whoa, what just happened? Oh, of course.
I had hoped to take all of them down at once.
Ah, you tried.
think a withdrawal might be in order?
Oh, sod that. You know who would never abandon these people to their fate.
She's talking about us.
Devoured by their former friends. That'd be beyond cruel. These beasts must fall here and now.
Are we gonna play as Alice now for a bit?
Well then, I'd say it's high time we threw caution to the winds.
So long as you spare me the heroic sacrifices.
He's
Now,
died once
let's go.
before. They're not gonna kill him again. Come on. It is interesting playing as other people. Save me. No.
I'm fine.
What, did the special name not give away that it's special? Come on. Yep.
I'm not done yet.
On. You've almost beaten it.
None to worry about.
The air crackles with energy. Find cover!
Down.
As they say, turnabout's fair play.
Yep.
On guard.
Woo, we win. Our limit break was pretty cool, actually. Not better than the standard red mage one.
There's not the barest trace of ether. Maybe there really is no way to bring them back. Thank you for saving our lives once again.
Yeah, no problem.
I remember you from Purusha. You helped us there too, didn't you?
Yep.
Ah, you're from Palaka's stand. I'm glad you're still in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
Or you will be, once I see to that injury of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Look out!
Another one. Damn it! Graha coming to the rescue with Paladin stance.
Get out of here! Quickly! I won't lose them. Not a one. This will be a brighter future. I won't let a madman's apocalypse ruin everything we've fought to achieve.
Really channeling Crystal Exarch there. I like that we're seeing more and more of that side of Graha.
Get it together, Alize.
And the music here is just perfect.
And in front of Father, no less. You might never measure up to our champion. But we ask too much of him as it is. You mustn't let Eorzea's hero fight alone.
Oh, yes! Oh, and here we are, striding onto the battlefield. God, I love it.
Oh,
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. clad in... This is precisely why you should never skip your squat regimen. Yes, I'm gonna be a little shit.
I can look after myself, you know.
I know.
Everything's in order, I trust?
Yep. We can both count ourselves as being amongst those who have time traveled.
Enough of this rabble. Come on!
Yeah. It's my turn now.
Oh, a trio for the ages. Just the beginning.
Haha. Fear my power. Oh, another one?
Feeling I'd fight. This should be the last of the worst troublemakers. With me!
Come on. After doing so well with other people's skills, it would have been, it will be embarrassing. Come on, guys. We can do this. We got 3 DPSs and a tank here. I can do this. Oh, please, Alphino. I'll keep track. If I did, you'd owe me like 100 times over. Yes, where were we? I believe it was somewhere in the kicking this thing's ass region. Yeah, duty complete. That was awesome. still always feel weird whenever we play as anyone other than ourselves. But that was fun.
You must board without delay. The ship will depart ere long.
Your offer to host us in Charlian is most appreciated. But will the final days not soon fall upon it as well?
Good question.
Your hesitation is not unwarranted. The satrap entrusted me with your lives, yet I have failed your comrades. Nor are you wrong to fear that this corruption will continue to spread. I cannot promise you complete safety, even in my homeland. What I can promise is that I will do all in my power to protect you. That power is not inconsiderable. Even now, my countrymen are preparing the vessel that will deliver us to a sanctuary on the moon. Join us on our journey there, and beyond, to new horizons. Come to old Charlian. Please.
It is a shame that it looks as if only children survived.
We would be fools to refuse such a
Or
generous offer. made
very
in
short
earnest.
adults. There again, he is quite tall. So... I wish he was wearing this outfit all the time. It's a lot
Seems there's
better.
a new destination.
The people of Radzet-Han have known too much suffering. The march to Garlemald will only bring them more, short though it may be.
I quite agree. Fortunately, they have you to look after them.
Yes. Well,
Can he just rescind the banishment?
Behind you!
What? Another one? Oh, it's chasing someone.
More of them.
Whoa, what was that? Oh! Hi, Xenos. It's been a while.
Xenos! Here!
Yep. He's stalking us. What do you expect?
You'll be all right. Hurry to the airship.
Why have you come?
Good question.
A heretofore unseen beast. 'Twas ripe for the slaying.
God damn it, Xenos. Oh god, the
Poor
thing
sport ass.
acknowledges his name change.
Unfit to temper my blade.
Xenos Viator Galvus.
Oh, for the love of... You cannot still be on about a rematch.
Of course he is! It's Xenos. He'll never drop the
That
subject.
is and has ever been my sole concern.
God damn it, Xenos.
You, on the other hand, are fixated on a different quarry.
Yep.
Your passion pales before mine. Yet neither hate nor despair seem sufficient to recapture your misdirected bloodlust.
I don't experience bloodlust. I'm trying to save people, you ass.
So I hone my blade, and I wait.
That's all you care about.
Yep. Don't give in to despair, buddy.
Garlemald is in ruins. Our homeland, the nation you rule, is as good as gone.
Uh-huh.
Along with so many of its people.
He does not care.
Not just soldiers like us. Not only those who fought and killed for power and duty. Innocent civilians.
That means nothing to him. Like, this is Xenos. He literally doesn't care about anything except his hate boner for us.
Murdered by their own flesh and blood. Lost and confused as they breathed their last. While we who survived with our lives and minds intact were left to freeze to death.
He's about to give into despair.
The Eorzeans tell me all this was your doing. You slaughtered your countrymen. You did. For what?
For nothing in the end. So much wasted effort.
You are an asshole. Makes you a great villain. Don't get me wrong. His sophistication and such, and the way in which he behaves, makes him a marvelous villain. And his Endwalker upgrade to his appearance has made him look significantly better. It makes the long hair look a little less off-putting. It looked really wrong with his previous outfits.
You bastard!
For your own sake, Euless, you must control your anger. It will serve no one should it consume you and see you transformed.
Would you be happier had I a good reason?
What?
If my motives met with your approval, would you no longer resent the outcome?
No.
If so, then perhaps a beast's skin would suit you better. Duty, honor, morality. All constructs of convenience.
Jeez.
Surely the war taught you how easily power becomes the tool of the self-righteous. How the people's justice was merely a means to their ends. Yet you would ask me why. Ask any creature of this star and those above for answers, and they will tell you what suits their fancy. And they would be right to do so. What meaning there is to be found in the petty vicissitudes of your existence must be gleaned by you, and you alone. Should you seek it in battle, in the fruitless pursuit of my demise, then come. Assume your rightful place as a notch on my blade.
Don't.
You are a blight on the Garlean race, and there would be no more satisfying way to expunge it than by beating you to death.
However,
But I will not be party to another tragedy. I refuse to lose anyone else because of you. So go. Go! And may we never suffer your madness again!
oof.
Xenos! you found meaning in living this way. I cannot deny you found strength. Yet if you only pursue your hedonistic pleasures and pay no heed to the plight of others, then no one will give you the time of day. You will never get what you want. Not even the battle you pine for so dearly.
Wow, you think you can convince him to change?
For an eternity, and you'll deserve every agonizing second of it.
Alice, I get where you're coming from. Part of me gets what you're trying to do. I think it's not gonna work. This is a freaking Is he a sociopath or a psychopath? I'm not sure which word actually best describes him. Either way, he really just does not care what anyone thinks of him.
We're ready to depart. The refugee ships will be leaving shortly, but I've asked mine to remain for the time being. There's room enough for you to join me on it, if you wish. Do contain your surprise. I needn't agree with the Scion's methods or intentions to acknowledge that their deeds are deserving of gratitude.
We appreciate the offer. But might I ask why you are delaying your departure? I presume it is not solely for our benefit.
I must visit Garlemald ere we return to Sharlayan. Having caused such an uproar, it is only meet that I explain myself to the Ilsabard contingent.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Allow us to accompany you then. We should be glad to facilitate.
I hate those random flashes. They're so annoying.
If you would like to join as well, Eulus, we can speak of recent events on the way.
Yep. I could tell you all about my time travel adventures.
He'll be after your seat on the forum next.
Astidian, was there any need for that comment? Huh. Faintest trace of a smile there. Pretty much saying, I do respect my children. To see Zeno standing there so uncaring and unrepentant, God, I don't know what came over me. Blurted out the first thing that came to mind, but looking back on it, I stand by those words. I would say I hope they won't incite him to further villainy. To be honest, I doubt he even remembers what I said. Anyway, enough about all that. It's good to see you again. Ooh, I need to take a look and see how this looks. Wait, is it? No, do I? It's another chainsaw blade! Oh, I love it.
No major injuries then. Good.
Yep.
I briefed the recovered soldiers and sent them on their way as quickly as I could, but nevertheless feared they would not make it in time.
additional support was invaluable. Your men saved more than a few lives.
Nee.
Though not all, I regret to say.
Hmm.
I take it that I'm addressing Lucia Junius. I'm the Forum's envoy, Fortuneau Leveilleur.
Yeah, we know who you are.
An explanation for these most dire developments.
Mm-hmm. Indeed they are.
Another trial wrought by the final days.
Mm-hmm.
I was beginning to suspect as much.
Okay, I just noticed that my phone is dying on me. I need to put it on charge quickly. Give me one moment. Really need to get one of those wireless charging pads for my desk. The one I have elsewhere in the room is proving to be very useful. So... And yeah, we need it on charge so we actually still have internet.
You doubtless feel some consternation having been forced to abandon your original plan. But trust me when I say you were right to send the refugees elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Beasts have been sighted within the capital. Perhaps it was a stroke of grim fortune that the population was decimated beforehand, as they've yet to appear in any great number, but in time. In any case, Maxima leads the remainder of the contingent in an effort to cull the creatures and evacuate the populace as we speak. Once the airships have taken to the skies, I pray your men can be persuaded to join him.
You'll permit us to retain our weapons?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have sent you after the Scions were I expecting you to stab them in the back.
And I, for one, would not consider past transgressions more relevant than future contributions.
Yep.
Regardless of the circumstances that saw us at odds before, we need men of courage now, more than ever.
Well then. Kinda want his jacket. Rather like it.
We swore to defend Garlemald, and so we shall.
It seems you have everything under control. You will excuse me then, for mine own duties await.
A moment, Master Fortuneau.
Just call him father.
You did desire to express your appreciation for services rendered, did you not?
I did. Though if you intend to again ask that Charlian alter its course, you will find my gratitude insufficient.
'Tis nothing so onerous. I wish to hear the details of this grand endeavor of yours.
Softens his expression at hearing that.
Do you swear to listen and to learn, and not to embark upon some scheme to impede us?
Nope.
I swear.
We have no interest in impeding you. Having a fallback plan is always a good thing to have. And that's what your plan is.
Any other, I would doubt. But you, I trust to keep your word. For not once have you broken it. Very well. I will request that the Forum make you privy to our plans. You may await our summons at the Baldessian Annex, assuming the decision is in your favor. Does that suffice?
Yep.
It does. You have my thanks.
Excellent. You can regale us with tales of your most recent sojourn to the First while we wait.
Whoop. Something's
Did you
happened.
hear something just now?
Oh no. 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 It's one of the moon people.
Where is this star's blasted pudding?
Okay, so the Hummingways have come to Earth. Why?
Dawn may banish even the darkest night.
Oh,
And to
Oriange's
this
here.
bitter clime bring warmth and comfort.
Hey, Oriange.
"'Tis heartening to see such an assembly upon my return. I thought often of you whilst I looked down upon our star's brilliance from the moon above.
Yes, but what are you doing here? And dressed like that? Aren't you cold?
A good question.
Verily, I fear for my health should I proceed to expound upon our purpose ere I procure more suitable garments."
He's trembling.
Then allow me to summarize. We're here because none of you lot are up there. Nor has anyone deigned to send word about any changes in the plans. It's rude, is what it is. At least that's what I thought at first, but then folks got to wondering if you weren't in a spot of bother, so we decided to take matters into our own hands. Come down here and help, if our help be needed.
To get ready to leave, yes.
So she says, but it's also something of a convenient excuse to visit Etheris. Oriange made it sound absolutely marvelous. More so before the impending doom, but still.
Puddingway made me think that she'd been possessed by one of the freaking Mateons. Or was about to transform into a horrible monster.
What with the aforementioned doom?
Marvelous, they say, yet not an ounce of pudding to be found. I'll suffer Oriange's inferior works no more.
Hey! Maybe consider the plight of present company before you go blathering on about pudding and doom? Ahem. As I was saying, should you require any assistance with whatever, we are at your disposal.
Uh-huh.
We were born from Heidelin's love for the lives of this star, so naturally we would much prefer to see them continue. Twiddling our thumbs up on the moon is hardly conducive to that, though, is it? Aye, not when you've all got such precious thoughts and feelings and hopes for the future deserving of more active...
Puddingway is just here to lighten the
Made
mood.
us realize that while we've carried out our duties to the letter, we've failed to fulfill them in spirit.
Which I think is the whole point of the Loperates as well. These guys are really just designed to be cute. Because it helps lighten the whole doom and gloom.
Towards resolving to do better. So please, show us how. Help us help you.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive me, but are they...
Loperates.
Thy distant collaborators, indeed.
Hail, fellow. Well met. You'd be a member of the Forum, would you? It's an honor and a pleasure to meet you at last. I'm Livingway, Heidelin's right paw. That last bit is very important. As am I, if I may humbly say so myself.
I bid you welcome to our star, Livingway. On behalf of the Forum, I thank you for traveling such a distance to meet us.
Mm-hmm.
As you have surmised, preparations for the Exodus have not proceeded as smoothly as we had hoped. I should be happy to personally escort you to our headquarters in Charlian, where you may advise us as you deem fit.
'Twas with reluctance that I set aside the great work of readying the moon for habitation. Be assured that I did so only after the Loperites made plain their earnest desire to come hither, and I myself felt a growing certainty that their contributions here would prove invaluable.
Hey, I think you made the right choice.
'Tis trite, perhaps, but I followed my heart.
Good to have you back.
For a time, at least. Nevertheless, 'twas worth the journey to find present company well. Will thou attend us at the forum and lend thine own wisdom?
Yep, as best we can. I'm sorry, just putting way in the background is hilarious.
Before Urianger catches his death. Even I'm freezing out here.
Oh, I dare say you'll warm up quickly once you're aboard the airship. Sat shoulder to shoulder with our fur-covered friends.
Somebody grab Puddingway before they... I don't even know how best to describe what's going on with Puddingway. They're adorably silly. Yep. Teleported all the way to Charlian. Why not? I dare say Master Fortunal was as nonplussed as we to learn the identity of Heidelin's lunar custodians. As you'll soon discover, they have much and more to offer the forum. I suggest we return to the Annex forthwith. We may yet have time to discuss our recent adventures ere we are summoned to the rostra. Yeah, why not? Gotta love having a dash move. Just a moment. I saw a viewpoint over here and they give experience. Damn it, come on. There. Jeez. Nyum. Hold on. Side quests. Count at least 2. For the love of pudding. Ah, you're with the students of Baldesion, aren't you? Please, I need your help. As you may recall, some cute, chatty little rabbits were here with your people the other day. A fellow named Puddingway there came asking for pudding. Unfortunately, he didn't have the money for it. Instead of paying a boss, just having him help around the place. The problem is, he doesn't seem to understand how things work. It's very different where they come from. Anyway, if you have a moment, do you think you could accompany Puddingway on his errands? There's nothing complicated, just collecting the items on this list. While I can't offer much, there'll be a little something in it for your troubles. Pudding? Am I gonna get pudding? Pudding! Hi. Oh, if it isn't Sparks, you've come at the perfect time to lend an ear to my woes. Ever since Yorianji told me about it, It's in my dream to taste the pudding of this star. Alas, that dream has been dashed. My quest for gastronomic pleasure is thwarted, and by what's something silly called Gill. I heard about this Gill before coming here, but who would have thought I'd need it to eat pudding? So my heart's desire must forever be go unfulfilled. Truly, I get to eat pudding, and all I need to do is fetch these things with you? I'll do it. For the love of Haydn, I'll do it. That's a metal mold. Some Delamont Fellows cookbook, and a bottle of Yakao milk. And yes, let's hop to it. Okay, we'll go this way. That, there, and there. Oh, Pudding Way. Your quest is adorable. And last night, I heard they'd be sending someone. Here's the Yakao milk. Can't wait for it to become delicious pudding. That's what it's for. The milk's fresh and sweet, so I dare say it'll make a fine treat. I keep laughing because it's just hilarious to me that how Pudding Way responded, and that we get to enjoy helping them to fulfill their dream. What can I help you and your little bunny friend with? We need a metal mold, something to make a delicious pudding. Do you have any? It is a matter of fact. This is for the last stand. I take it. I'll go ahead and put it on your account. Thank you for your custom. Oh, you poor sweet little bunny. You would not survive on your own. Which is fair. Over here we just needed a book. There it is. Ah, I think this is the cookbook we're looking for. The note says it's already checked out for us, so all we need to do is grab it and bring it back. It's still adorable. Like, little rabbit doesn't have money. Here, do some errands for us and we'll make you pudding. And the errands are all to get stuff needed for making said pudding. Which is honestly the most appropriate thing they could have done for that. Oh, I just love it. This game, it's great. I love playing it. I wonder if my... I'm gonna have to check something regarding my lights later. How'd it go? Were you able to obtain everything? With the internet down, the smart lights aren't gonna work properly. Wonderful. I said about making pudding at once. Not just any pudding either, but the famous rainbow pudding, or the brilliant culinary mind of the legendary master Deliamont. This is the one who wanted to try pudding so badly. It's only right that we serve him the very best. The little wink. As for your good self, this isn't much, but please accept this as payment for your troubles. I want to see Pudding Way's reaction. We just got some baked alien soup. Come on, let me see pudding. At long last, the pudding of this star. I can already taste it. So much better than Orianger's lackluster offerings. Thank you ever so much. Because of you, not only do I get to eat pudding, I've learned a thing or two about their making to boot. As surely as my name is Pudding Man, I'll endeavor to learn as much about this toothsome treat as I can. You are adorable, Pudding Way. You really are. Now be on. Now go. Okay. Next objective is right here. Secret in the box. What time are we at? Well, we've got loads of time still. We've got at least 3 hours. We can make a lot of progress in the story in that. The box is locked tight. Should you choose to undertake a quest, know that guidance from the journal, duty list, and master are limited. You need to read the text carefully and decipher the clues to determine your course of action. You are Sparks, are you not? I've been looking for you. I'm an adventurer too. I've been tasked with delivering this letter and box to you, though I can't say who sent them. Rest assured that my client means you no ill. My work is done, so I'll leave you to it, but I suggest you start by reading the letter. Sparks, there is a gift for you in the box, if you can open it. To do so, you must acquire 3 keys. Key of which are somewhere in Charlotte. Solve the following riddles to find them. You try to fun. This is a game, after all. Towards wisdom aspiring, a keeper doth gaze, by young minds inquiring, and new trails blaze. Yet the mind is a muscle, in rest it doth grow, so that all embrace slumber, the better to know. By life ever flowing, a keeper doth wait. Clutching a prize is hunger to sate, yet no prize is so coveted as one golden hued, the mention of which is never thought rude. Blessed by the nymph, a keeper doth stand, enthralled in a tale, a book in his hand. Yet evocative as letters on parchment may be, 'tis words said and heard which impel destiny. Find the keepers by using the hints. You may review the letters in your inventory. Yeah, I do not feel like trying to figure that out. I'm sure somebody has by now. This game's been out ages. Alright. So. We want to go to 7.9. Right, so first 7.9, 13.8. That'll take us over 7.9, 13.8. Okay, there's one. Say, and we need to doze. That is adorable. Look at us. Dozing off. What? Waiting for you, Sparks. Here my master bade me give you this key. To go so far as disguise himself as a woman, it shows how much he wanted to meet you in person. Anyway, I played my part, so I'll return to my training. Enjoy the rest of the game. Disguise himself as a woman. Wonder who this master is. Okay. So now we need to go. Looks like it's somewhere over here. So 9.0, 7. No, way to the north. Out there. Yum. Okay. Do 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 do. The music is beautiful. And they really do have a good habit of picking the right music for the right moments. For the most part. There is the occasional moment where I think that they could have picked something better. There. Not a kin. He's a squirrel. Golden acorn. It was a person! Well done, my friend. From the tales I've heard about you, I expected you'd find me in short order. And you did. Heard from who, you ask? Oh, just a man I admire. He was due to his influence. I decided to train under the same master. What joy to see him again after all these years. I disguised the choice because I felt it'd be a good match for him. Quite convincing, don't you think? Before I forget, here's your key. I'll let you get back to the gate, but when you have a moment, I'd love to hear some of your tales. Alright, last one. 11.5. 8.5, so somewhere around there. Ah! This person. Greetings, Sparks. That you've sought me out means you've read the letter and solved the riddle besides. Of all our master's pupil, your comrade is the least poetic by far. But that's never stopped him from trying to woo the ladies with song. Truly is hopeless. Still, it's good to see him hale and whole. From what Master tells us, he's been through a lot. Next time you see him, do pass along my regards. And here, of course, is your key. Don't know who it could be, really. This lockbox could be from. But I'm suspecting Thancred now. The key unlocks the box, which you open to reveal your gift along with another letter. Dear Sparks, allow me to congratulate you for solving the riddles. As promised, the gift is yours to take. A long time ago, Master Louis Swall left a little troublemaker in my care. At his behest, I taught the boy everything I knew in the ways of survival and infiltration. After years away from these shores, the boy has returned a man. By the set of his face alone, it is plain he has matured greatly. For his time with the Scions, I do not doubt. And thank you for being there for him. I ask that you continue to do so. Lastly, I ask that you forgive me for not saying this directly. Despite myself, I've never been good at expressing heartfelt sentiment in person, hence this letter. The matter of its delivery, at the very least, I wish to make interesting. I hope you derive some enjoyment from it. Not really, to be honest. I would have preferred just being given the gift. But oh well. No? I thought maybe that would be better. Oh, Gunbreaker. Can it get... No? Okay. Well. I have to try. What's this mission giving us anyways? Outside help. Nothing. Hell, everyone's here. Time to tell them about everything that's happened. Not that I'm complaining, Oyanji, but I wasn't expecting to see you quite so soon. Nor I thee. In extolling the virtues of Aetheris, I did inadvertently awaken the Loperids, a desire to avert our beloved star's demise. Kral tells us you have obtained new knowledge that may aid us in our ongoing efforts. I have news to share regarding our study of the ethereal sea, but your findings are certain to be of greater interest, so I'd rather hear them first. To what revelations did Heidelin's Elpis flower lead? The origins of the final days, which everyone is going to be shocked to learn. Then this dynamis is what drives the final days. If it and the Akasa are one and the same, this all but proves Nidana's theory. Were an entity, through sheer force of emotion, to channel this vast dormant reservoir into a raging river, its power might surpass even that of ether. But if our star is so replete with ether, said entity would need to be outside its influence to effectively manipulate the dynamis of the great expanse. Nitaeon, or rather, the sorrow and suffering of fallen civilizations that she had been hoarding for millennia. Untold anguish and fear and hatred drawn from every corner of the universe, all for a single purpose: the destruction of Aetheris. Then our foe is no longer some unknowable calamity. We have but one aim: to defeat Mateon. You make it sound so simple, but you're not wrong. Vanquish Mateon and we deliver the world in the final days, but to even attempt it, there are two conditions. First, we must determine her location. Before Mateon escaped, an enchantment was placed upon her by Vana, the woman who would become Hydaelyn. The implications of temporal magics are not entirely understood, so we can't assume that our Hydaelyn and the Vana you met in Elpis are one and the same. Nevertheless, due to her intrinsic qualities as an all-powerful being, I wager that Hydaelyn possesses the knowledge we seek. Whether she would share that knowledge with us, however, remains to be seen. After all, she intends for us to flee Aetheris, not to stay. Do you suppose she has abandoned her pursuit of Mateon? The Vana I know would never give up. That's my impression too. Otherwise, she wouldn't have used me as a conduit for her will, or provided clues such as the Elpis flower. I believe she has been waiting for mankind's answer to Hermes' question. So what's the second condition? We must find a means to reach Mateon. Naturally, our chosen method will depend entirely upon wheresoever she has made her nest. Yep, that's the issue, isn't it? Then communing with Hydaelyn must be necessity come first. Did you and Master Matoya have any luck with your investigation to the Ethereal Sea? Sadly not. Though we enlisted the help of Arenvald and other Echo-blessed allies, we couldn't detect so much as a whisper from Hydaelyn, even from within the Anti-Tower. Master Matoya is of the opinion that in a year since abandoning it, the Form has found some other method of receiving instructions from Hydaelyn. If so, it will most likely be some form of apparatus for observing the Ethereal Sea, built closer to home. Sorry to interrupt, we've just received word from the Forum. Your presence is required in the Rostra, where they intend to discuss the Great Exodus. And Father was able to persuade them. They're finally taking us seriously. Let's hear what they have to say. Yeah, let's hear it. Do, 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 do. At least this place is still nice. I'm sure Garlemald and Razathan will return to normal once we avert the final days, but that's easier said than done. The forum is in session. As such, the rostra is closed to visitors. A scion of the seventh dawn? Very well, you may wait in the corridor. Of course, entry will only be permitted on the condition you leave your armaments at the door. Lest you forget, this sacred institution holds rational discourse in the highest. The implements of war are expressly forbidden. Okay, that's not an issue. Oh. Ha! We just walk straight through. That is hilarious. I do hate the way their desks in there are arranged, though. I know it's an aesthetic choice, but it's still terrible. And he's back in this awful outfit. I hate this outfit for them.
There is a matter I wish to raise with you before we enter.
Mm-hmm.
We are here to listen and to learn. But if the Forum's plans are more or less what I expect, then I should like to make a proposal that will serve our ends.
Okay.
By your leave, of course.
What's the proposal? I want to hear it.
I don't see why not. Your words and wits have gotten us this far.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. I will present our queries so that you may consider the most advantageous way to advance your proposal without distraction.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, everyone.
If I may have your attention, the ad hoc session will now commence. The purpose of today's assembly is to brief the Scions of the Seventh Dawn at their request on the Great Exodus. You may enter.
Okay.
On behalf of the Forum, I commend your heroic actions on the Magna Glaciers. We shall not soon forget your service to us and the people of Radzat-Han. The Satrap, whom we have informed of the refugees' new arrangements, sings your praises as well. As an expression of our gratitude, we will endeavor to answer your questions as fully and openly as we are able.
Cool.
Then let us begin. First, it is the Forum's objective to ferry the life and knowledge of this star to the moon. Am I correct?
Yes, that is accurate.
You are. It is for this purpose that Sharlayan has labored these many long years. We have collected biological samples and scientific records from across the star. When the time comes, they will be moved from their places in Labyrinthos and Numenon and conveyed to safety. Once that critical task has been accomplished, we will begin transporting the Sharlayan citizenry, which has been categorized into groups. The earliest arrivals are to ensure hospitable environs for those who come after.
Sensible.
Following our people, we will send those of other nations in turn, beginning with our allies. Radzat-Han was foremost among these, but since the final days have already come to Thavnair, we saw fit to include the refugees with earlier groupings.
That's fair.
An ambitious plan. You have accounted for the safety of all nations and tribes, then?
As many as we can.
And how, pray tell, do you decide who to leave behind?
To journey beyond the sky is an unprecedented and immeasurably difficult endeavor. Introducing sources of inevitable conflict would condemn all to certain death.
I hope that doesn't mean that he's planning to leave. They're planning to leave all the beast tribes behind.
Questions as to the validity of that approach aside, are your plans proceeding apace? We're under the impression that your primary means of celestial transportation is incomplete.
It is a bit of a problem.
If only in that it does not meet our optimal parameters, that is correct.
What do you mean optimal parameters?
This arc, as some have taken to calling it, is fully operational and could be launched even today. However, the final days have progressed more quickly than we anticipated.
Okay.
At present, the ship is incapable of attaining speeds sufficient to meet our evacuation targets. Should we put the vessel into service, as it is now, we will be unable to travel to the moon and back quickly enough to complete the necessary number of trips. Precious lives and knowledge will be lost.
At least you said lives first.
Is there anything to be done?
The ether burner, the primary means of propulsion once the craft is in the space between stars, is undergoing testing to determine whether it can be made more efficient. Though cargo is being loaded for the initial phase of the Exodus, we are prepared to continue our experimentation up to the day before launch, should it prove necessary.
How many days do we have then?
What if the Scions were to solve your problem? We shall help devise a means to improve the ether burner's efficiency, on 2 conditions.
Okay.
If we succeed, you must allow us to meet with Hydaelyn.
Ooh.
'Twas simple enough to deduce. You have a Concord, and so you would never have abandoned the anti-tower had you no other means of communication. One far more convenient, I suspect.
The second condition, also to be met upon our success, is that we be permitted to propose another use for your Ark.
Oh?
We would be at liberty to refuse this proposal.
Yes.
Of course. If we cannot prove its merit to the 99 here, who are we to stake on it the lives of all peoples of this star?
Delightful as always, Master Alfino.
Love that guy. He's the most sensible person in this room.
We couldn't have asked for a finer plan.
Amongst the 99.
Allow us to solve this complex engineering problem of which we were entirely unaware until moments ago. What could possibly go wrong? The satire writes itself.
Cheek.
Yet, what field has not benefited from a change in perspective? When we are at wit's end, what we need is not the same dry theories recited ad nauseam, but fresh inspiration.
Yeah, we can help solve this problem.
I, for one, have faith in my erstwhile students to provide it, and I find their terms to be perfectly acceptable.
Everyone should. They are perfectly reasonable terms.
Order! Order! We have no time to waste on debate. I call a vote. All in favor of agreeing to the Scion's terms?
Come on, more hands. Will it be unanimous? It looks like it might. Ooh, even he put his hand up.
71 in favor, 28 against. The ayes
Damn.
have it.
Not a unanimous vote, but still massive.
Fortunate, as
upshots.
the architect of this project, you are the best candidate to show them its current state. And bear in mind that regardless of your personal misgivings, this is the will of the Forum.
Yep.
Very well.
I call this session to a close. Return to your tasks with urgency. The final days wait for none.
Yep. Yeah, I need to look at that room a bit more. Okay, so my biggest gripe is this bit here. where it just sort of juts out. They could easily have closed the circle, but left one space free, similar, or two spaces. They could have left spaces free, similar to how they did over here. Then, going up. Instead of having this weird gap here, which I don't understand why it exists, the same up here, they could have filled it in, and that would have accounted for the lost spaces. And the same everywhere else, like literally. I cannot see any reason for it. Like the rest of this room is so neatly organized. But this spot right here is just weird. I hate it so much. Sorry about not letting the rest of you in on my plan. I was admittingly thinking on my feet for the most part. But since we require both a means of coming with Hydaelyn and reaching Mateon, spur of the moment I saw involving ourselves with the completion of the Ark as a way to work towards both objectives simultaneously. However, we must first keep our end of the bargain by solving the problem of the ether burner. I like to think it is not a challenge beyond our combined expertise, or at least the expertise of our extended circle of associates. It might behoove us to learn how an ether burner actually works before we attempt to improve it, though. Yep, that is accurate. As instructed, I shall take you to see the ether burner. Meet me outside the